And so you have, on the fair go question, Mr Abbott, the alternative Prime Minister of
but
Australia.
you're talking about credibility there, and I'd say one thing to you: there'll be no carbon tax under any government I lead. Where's the credibility in that?
Well, the Prime Minister made that policy decision after the 2010 election. Like myself, the Prime Minister was committed to a carbon price. And the reason why she concluded that was the best way ahead was because the Green Party that I've just referred to refused, in a totally unprincipled way, to back in the Parliament an emissions trading scheme for which we had a mandate in the previous Parliament.
You're talking about Tony Abbott's credibility, and that's fair enough. What about your own Prime Minister's credibility? Where is it?
Well, the Prime Minister has been very plain about the question of putting a price on carbon. I fully accept it's a controversial decision.
No, but don't you accept
it was
a broken promise?
Just as I also accept, Neil, the following, that Mr Abbott, he of Work Choices is the best achievement of the Howard government, that Mr Abbott, the bloke who promises there won't be work choices in the future, that Mr Abbott, also said that Prime Minister Gillard's carbon tax would destroy the economy as we know it.
That's right.
On the question of credibility, I really think this guy's out there flapping in the breeze. Like, you see this...
And the Prime Minister's credibility isn't damaged?
Let's just look at this document. Hang on.
No.
You had him here in the studio the other day talking about his plan for real solutions for all Australians. I saw Tony in the hotel this morning, by the way. So I thought I'd actually pull one of these.
That'd be a good conversation.
I pulled this down off the website. It says inside, every 4 or 5 pages, costed, fully budgeted. That's the biggest fib in a document I've ever seen.
Okay.
Here we are 6 months before an election. He puts out this thing which is the equivalent of a Year 10 student addressing a local Rotary Club about what's important to me. There's not one costed undertaking in it, and there is no scrutiny being applied to him on it.
On what happened before the last election, why should we trust anything we're told before this one by your government, by your Prime Minister?
Well, the first thing that the Australian people will do is look at the undertakings that we have given and whether we have implemented them or not. Now, on the question of keeping the economy strong, we have done that. When you travel the world, this economy is the envy of the world, both on unemployment, on growth, on interest rates, and on the rest. It's the only economy in the world where all 3 credit rating agencies have given this economy and the national government a AAA credit rating. First time in Australia's history. So when we say, and the Prime Minister said, that we're going to keep the economy strong, we delivered on that. Secondly, rolling out the national broadband network. It's being rolled out right across the country. The other mobs say they're going to rip it up, but we are holding to our commitment to do that.
Okay. Are you aware of a Labor historian called Nick Dryanfirth, who's writing in The Age today?
Never heard of him, mate.
He says of you are guilty of self-destructive vanity and calls you a Labor rat. Never heard of him?
No, never heard of him. And guess what? I'm sure other more colourful things have been said about me by others. Water off a duck's back, mate. Happens to me every day. And I'm sure you have the odd person who criticises you in your job as well.
You're called a Labor rat every day?
Oh, mate, various people have used pretty colourful language about me.
And you know, a psychopath, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's only a year ago, you know. That
well, I have a fair bit of confidence in the people who listen to your program, and people out there in Australia. They have this great quality about them. John Howard used to talk about this, just called common sense. They make their judgment over time. They actually look at you in the eyeballs. They work out whether what you say is full of it or not, whether you do what you say, and whether you are delivering real changes for people, working people. And I would say, in keeping people in a job, rolling out basic services to their schools, ensuring that we're rolling out a national broadband network for families, record increase in the pension, the first time we're going to have paid parental leave. By the way, Abbott doesn't cost his version of that either in this document. These are basic things, and people will make a judgment about whether I or others in the government have delivered or not.